Well, Church 1.0 was very special. It's um, it's a spiritual place. I think it's a wonderful continuity from Second Wind years back, but it became its own. It certainly was different, and so I like it. It's church, not church. It's a spiritual. It's a learning place. Um, we do churchy things, but at the same time, we're dealing with topics that are relevant. And over the years, one of the things I really liked about it is that we've really learned to one to be even more inclusive than we thought we were, and to think beyond just the boundaries of who we were. In a way, become even more aware of the world, become better citizens. And then you using the vehicle of church um, and spirituality to get into the core of what's essential and what's important, what's important to us, but also I think in general by seeking that we found what's something that's really really important in all spirituality. Um, while we have the Christian background going, we're bringing in elements from other traditions that really really are essential to just being human. And I think that's one of the things especially that Church 1.0 has. And it might be a challenge for people, and yet I think it's for us it's really worked really well. And I think one of the things that comes to my mind as I think about Church 1.0 that it was a maturing period in our spirituality. It was something it was a journey from something that we really liked, something that we needed, and at the same something that we were able to nurture by ourselves. And so we matured as a group, we matured spirituality, and we grew. And it puts us on a path to continue, to be very happy to be continuing on that path of spirituality.
I'm going to shift a little bit so that you're looking more at the camera and not looking up.
Yeah, well, I wasn't quite sure where the
Yeah,
camera. I can't see
yeah,
the camera.
no, that's fine.
Well, I could do that again. Yeah. So.
I have learned blank from my participation at Church 1.0.
Say it again.
I've learned blank from my participation at Church 1.0. I think you covered that. I'm a better person
Yeah.
now due to our conversations
Mm-hmm.
of like a topic, a book by author. Does that help?
Yeah, I can't remember anything specific, but I think
Or a general?
it's more general in terms
Yeah.
of its. Are you on?
Yeah.
Am I on? Yeah. Where's the camera? There.
Yeah.
Yeah, in terms of one of the things that Marcos did really well was to select things that build on each other. And so going from, I think it was Diana Bess, to, looking at the world in our environment and to think of ourselves in the world like that was really important. Then we moved into something that was more human. And I think this progression was really good. It kept going back to being being grounded in the world and at the same time seeking that inner spirituality. So it's the inside, the outside, and I think that worked really well throughout the readings. And they build each other. And we would branch off a little bit on certain theological themes, like when we looked at the book on No Hell, right? That was sort of a journey into somebody else's social story and seeing what we can learn from that and what was important in terms of that particular doctrine that seems to be very deeply rooted in Christianity. And for some it's an anchor. So what did that mean to us? So that was an interesting, I would say, branch that we went off on. We also did some early on looking at Jewish thoughts, and so those things helped us to ground us and give us a branching, but also a place that's spiritual in both different areas. So I think that those readings were really built on each other and again fed into our spirituality, but also into our, I think, maturing and expanding. And I think that's part of what spirituality is about. It's expanding and also maturing And I guess when I think about maturing, it's the whole idea that we are learning more and more, and hopefully being wiser and wiser in our choice of who we are, how we react to the environment, how we react to others, how we react to the established church. And I think that's what I would call maturing spirituality.
I'm also filming, within this, I'm also filming people saying a thank you to Marcos for what he's given us at Church 1.0. Being his partner, you have a little different perspective on that. But if you'd like to say something, just a specific thank you to him, and so then I'll put it together a thank you video to him.
Well, I definitely want to thank Marcos for taking on this challenge, because at the beginning of this, he was willing to lead out. He says, well, but wasn't quite sure what he wanted to do, what he was going to do with it, how he was going to go forward, how is it going to be different from what he was doing before. And he was courageous enough to go beyond where he was at, challenge himself, and use his skills as a pastor, as a preacher. He used those skills to build something new, and I admire him for that. And I think he did a wonderful job.
I agree.
I guess I get emotional because I've seen the growth over time, and that's a beautiful thing to do, and to see him grow. And really, even though there were roots there, I think Church 1.0 gave him an amazing breadth, I think, and ease with where he was at, in life. And certainly that's something that he shared with us, and he did that very well. So thank you, Marcos.
Thank you.